Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Benghazi Rabbit. It is I, the Lion, and I wanted to have a discussion with y'all about some things. I know some people who know us well know where our hearts and minds are at. A lot of them do, but this channel has always been about government accountability and the First Amendment. We also don't like scammers and fraud, and we expose that too, and just overall shitty people.
Flames surround, but I will stand, carried safely by your hand. Though the earth may shake below, still your promise holds. I know no fear in the fire. You are here. Every shadow disappears. No fear in the fire. I remain in your love. I stand every trial, every storm. In your mercy I am warm. Chains may rattle, walls may fall. Still your love will conquer. No fear in the fire. You are here. Every shadow disappears. No fear in the fire. I'll remain in your love. I stand through the flames, your glory shines, ever faithful over no fear in the fire. You are here. Every shadow disappears. No fear in the fire. I'll remain in your love. I stand
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Been a busy day. Busy day over here at the Sabbath Saints. Working on our warehouse this morning, doing a bunch of stuff. Apparently, Tab went live and was talking some crap on a bunch of people. So, I don't have access to that video, nor am I going to give him the interactions. But there is some interesting things that I would like to discuss with you all. So, I'm not even going to say hi to all of you. You know who you are. That's cool. But I'd like to talk about something with you guys really quick, because there's something that I've been looking into, as well as some others, and it feels as though this quote legitimate 501c3 might not actually be a legitimate 501c3. But that's for the IRS to decide. One thing that I would like to discuss with you all is the mission statement. Let's zoom it in here right quick for you guys. The Servicemen and Citizens for American Rights Society is a registered nonprofit organization dedicated to two main purposes: defending constitutional rights. Okay, so they offer legal resources and services to U.S. citizens facing government tyranny and overreach while exercising constitutionally protected activities through activism. That sounds like a legal aid organization, does it not? Supporting American veterans. SCARS provides support services for American veterans under the care of the Veterans Administration, ensuring they receive proper mental health care and educational services through our outreach programs. We also advocate for prompt and proper provision of physical and mental health care for our military veterans through legal services. Oh, again, so through legal services again. So this sounds like a legal aid organization, right? But an advocacy one is that. Interesting. So the IRS coincidentally has an entire section on what we as nonprofit 501c3s are legally allowed to do. So let me read this for you for those who are on audio. And it is litigation by IRC, which is the Internal Revenue Code by the 501c3 organizations. The IRC, Internal Revenue Code 501c3, provides that an organization organized and operated exclusively for charitable purposes may qualify for exemption from federal income tax. The service has recognized as charities certain types of organizations that engage in litigation. Okay. That engage in litigation through legal services. Right? Legal resources and services, right? The purpose of this topic is to discuss the basic types of litigating organizations that can apply for recognition under the IRC code of a 501c3, a legal aid organization, a human and civil rights defense organization, public interest law firms, organizations that attempt to achieve charitable goals through the institution of litigation as a plaintiff. Interesting. Legal aid organizations, okay? Providing of legal services is ordinarily a commercial activity and, absent special circumstances, does not qualify as charitable. One such special circumstance involves legal aid organizations which have been recognized as 501c3s for many years. Okay, here's some references. Describe the classic legal aid society and holds that an organization that provides for legal services to indigent persons, meaning public defenders and stuff like that, people who can't afford legal services, otherwise financially incapable of obtaining such services, is exempt from the IRC 501c3 code. Okay, by providing essential legal services to the indigent, the organization relieves the poor and distressed. Therefore, the activity is charitable. This holding is amplified in these rulings, which concludes that an organization providing legal services to indigent persons may qualify for exemption under the IRC code 501c3, even though it charges for its services. Okay. However, the fees must be based on the indigent's limited abilities to pay rather than on the type of services rendered. In other words, the fees paid must be nominal. Okay. So, that said, the services provided by legal aid organizations are in no way unique, and the litigation in which they engage does not accomplish any charitable purpose. The bulk of a legal aid society's casework usually involves divorce and domestic relations, consumer problems, criminal defense, and other routine personal problems. Charitable classification of these organizations rests solely on the basis that they provide essential services to the poor who are otherwise unable to obtain them, and they provide such services in a charitable manner. I know I'm throwing a lot of shit at you guys, but that's a legal aid organization. Okay, so that's one. Now moving on, the human and civil rights organizations. Okay, the 501c3 all the way to the 1 Delta 2 classification of the 501 code provides that it is a charitable purpose to promote social welfare by defending human and civil rights secured by law. Therefore, organizations whose purpose is to provide representation to others or to institute litigation as a party plaintiff in cases involving the defense of human and civil rights may be considered charitable organizations for the purposes of the 501c3 code. An example of this type of organization is found in this reference. The organization described there provides funds to defend members of a religious sect in legal actions involving substantial constitutional issues of state abridgment of religious freedoms. Hang on. One second. I'm talking to my paralegal. So we were going to go over the video. Hang on. But since we don't have the video, we're just going to talk about stuff. She's like, I'm going to take a nap. One second, everybody. All right. Sorry about that. Because we were gonna discuss some things. And actually, we will be discussing some things because she's gonna be a co-host on some shows coming up. Because there's some interesting topics we're going to talk about. Okay, anyway. The organization described there provides funds to defend members of a... Okay, so this one is providing funds. The scope of the rights encompassed within the phrase human and civil rights secured by law obviously includes those rights discussed in this reference point. Freedom of religion is one of the fundamental freedoms guaranteed by the United States Constitution. The First Amendment to the Constitution, as made applicable to the states by the 14th Amendment, specifically forbids the states from enacting... Okay, right, legal jargon. We know this. There has been, however, considerable controversy over how the phrase is to be construed in other cases. In accord with the trend of recent court decisions, such as the National Right to Work, Legal Defense, and Education Foundation, I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you guys, but this is exactly what the code is laid out for. Thus, if the subject matter of an organization's litigation is a federal statute guaranteeing the right of union members to democratic processes in unions, well, that doesn't sound like that's the case here. Where statutes are involved, however, it is important to scrutinize exactly what is at issue of the case. Okay, this is talking about teachers and unions still. Therefore, in determining whether the right is being asserted, human and civil rights secured by law, there must be at least one law, constitutional or statutory, and assertion that could be reasonably be said to promote this right by attempting to define either its extent or limitation. Oh, okay, all right. Here we go. In these cases, however, an organization's entitlement to exemption under 501c3 does not follow necessarily from finding that its activities constitute the defense of human and civil rights. Such activities are charitable only if they serve a public rather than private interest, as required by 501c3 to 1 Delta 1 2 classifications. The following criteria are relevant in determining whether such an organization serves a public rather than a private interest. Whether the litigation will have a substantial impact beyond the interest of the litigants. Okay. Whether the selection of cases by the organization for its support is made by a board or committee that is representative of the public and is not controlled by employees, persons who litigate on behalf of the organization, or by any commercial entity. Okay. Whether the primary source of financial support of the organization is from the persons being represented, and whether there is an arrangement whereby a donor may claim directly or indirectly a charitable deduction for the cost of litigation that serves the donor's private benefit. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. The above criteria are not simply a checklist. They involve the weighing of circumstances and nuances of each case. Thus, a class action suit in the area of employment discrimination may turn out to serve a private interest if the organization was formed as a result of an agreement between an attorney and an individual client regarding the attorney's compensation. In summary, charitable classifications of these organizations is based on the recognition of the importance of legally guaranteed human and civil rights. Securing such rights for each individual is of sufficiently broad public concern that litigation involving these rights promotes social welfare. The social welfare aspect of any particular case, however, may be negated by a finding of overriding private benefit. Interesting. Okay, this next one's a long one. This next one is a public interest law firm. So giving you guys context, that was a human and civil rights organization, and the first one was a legal aid organization. This next one is a public interest law firm. Let me scan this very quick. Because this one's a big section. This is a big section. All right, let's get that one because I don't think that one would apply. But this next one, organizations that attempt to achieve charitable goals through the institution of litigation. This is the final, most recent, and in some respects, the most indistinct category of litigating organizations that may qualify for 501 status. This reference is the landmark and only published case in the area. The organization described there was organized for the purpose of protecting and restoring environmental quality. It is the principal activity consists of instituting litigation as a party plaintiff under the federal and state legislation. Typical of its litigation, it is a suit filed against a local manufacturer and the state environmental protection agency. Okay. All right. To enjoin the manufacturer from emitting pollutants from its plant and to require the state agency to enforce state air quality legislation. This newer type of organization is distinguished from a public interest law firm in that the organization does not have its own staff of attorneys and does not provide legal representation to others. Instead, it retains private attorneys and files court cases on it in its own name. Okay. Huh. I don't think that they qualify. One of the salient issues raised by the revenue ruling, therefore, is whether an organization with stated charitable purposes must engage in per se charitable acts in order to qualify for 501 status. This issue, and elaborates on the issue of whether a litigating organization is precluded from litigating from a particular viewpoint on a controversial issue. It then sets forth a three-part test to determine whether an organization of this type may qualify. Therefore, in making the determination of whether an organization's activities are consistent, the service will rely on a three-part test. The organization's purpose is charitable, activities are not illegal, contrary to a clearly defined and established public policy, or in conflict with express statutory restrictions, and the activities are in furtherance of the organization's exempt purpose and are reasonably related to the accomplishment of that purpose. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's look here and see. Ethics, okay. So there should be something in here. Then checks, drafts, and contracts. The board of directors shall determine who be authorized from time to time. Yeah. By the IRS statements in this, there should be something in the bylaws then of this organization that states they can charge for legal representation, legal services, or anything like that, right? Because if not, how can they say this is our purpose when it's not in your bylaws? Because your bylaws are your purpose. And if it's not in your purpose, then you can't, it's just you saying it's your purpose. Yeah, I got them right here. Smells delightful. I gotta get them put up on the. I'm gonna sell them through the Zeffy, the Zeffy store, because it's free for us to use, and they don't take any fees, and they're also another nonprofit. So I'm gonna get them on the Zeffy store. Here's Mother Pucker. Can't really see the design because there is no color on it, but oh, it smells so good. And I think this one's Bunny Bliss. Yeah, this one's Bunny Bliss. Bam. Go figure, I picked all square bars. I think I have one oval bar. I just grabbed some out of the fridge. And yeah. This one's pretty cool. Got the bees on it. So you can see, actually, it started blue, but it cured. So now it's like kind of like a light blue, and the yellow on top faded in. So it's kind of got this little gradient on it. All right. So yeah, we got soap. And then funny enough, Tab's got his shirts today. Had this shirt for like months and months and months now. Tab's all proud of his one shirt, guys. Tab's proud of his one shirt. These are my shirts, just the ones that I am wearing for myself. Right? And then look, here are my work shirts. Tab's all proud of his one shirt. Man, come on, bro. Come on, Tab. You're supposed to be a legitimate 501c3. You're supposed to have these things done like right off the bat, right? Come on. Mind you, guys, these are mine that I wear. So I have numerous of the same ones because I haven't even worn this one yet. I still got the tag on it. Yeah. Hey, look. Still got the tag on this one too. I haven't worn the black ones yet. Boom. Right. And these are just like my normal ones. These aren't even. Oh, look. Here's my drone one. Whenever I have to, for the FAA compliance, do not disturb. Right. So these are just mine. And then remember I showed you guys these ones the other day. The t-shirts. Little Switzerland. Yeah. Got the pups on the front. And then this one. With the Diamondback, which is 226A. See? The scenic route. So yeah. He's so happy about his shirts, but you know. Come on now. I'm happy about my guys. My shirts too. Alright, I'm not seeing anything in here that there's nothing in here. Oh, here's the FOIA policy. Huh. Yeah, so there's nothing in the bylaws that that's I don't know, you guys tell me. I mean, you just saw right there. You just see right here what the you see right here what the federal government says they could do if you are one of these 4 organizations, but this is not representing themselves as one of those 4 organizations. Nowhere is it stated as such. Did you guys see anything in there that stated it was a legal aid organization, a human and civil rights organization, a public interest law firm? Or do they have anything lined out that says they're an organization that attempts to achieve charitable goals through the institution of litigation? Is there anything in this section that they comply with? Oh, sorry, I wasn't, this whole thing here? Because I don't see anything in here that... Look, purpose. Off Constitutional Protections Committee offer direct legal and advisory assistance to U.S. citizens. I see absolutely nothing that complies with the 501c3 classification of the Internal Revenue Code. Not at all. Anywhere. Nowhere. Because it's very clear what they say. IRC code is very clear. It's right here. There's 4 types of organizations that can be defined, and this is not one of them. Furthermore, you only hear what? You only tacked on the charitable. So, charitable, religious, educational, scientific, literacy, testing for public. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that there was that classification. Testing for public safety? Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting. You know what's even more interesting, ladies and gentlemen? If I can get it up, maybe. 7 seats. There we go. Paperwork. Yeah, there it is. Look at this. Let's pull this up. Kind of hard to see. But charitable, religious, educational. It's like we had the forethought to actually check off different things that we were going to be doing. Isn't that interesting how that works? But, all right, so, yeah, the unauthorized practice of law. The definition varies slightly by state to state, but basically it's the drafting of legal documents, including motions, pleadings, and other court papers, providing legal advice, which involves interpreting the law or recommending a course of action based on a specific set of facts, representing another person in court, or assisting someone else in their unauthorized practice of law. Interesting. Tav has a legal charity. His mission statement verbally made clearly that he wants his own. Don't be bad faith. Oh, interesting. Well, looks like it's a scam. Potential consequences of practicing unauthorized laws, criminal charges, injunctions to civil penalties, lawsuits, and potentially getting the cases thrown out. Yep, a 501c3 can charge for legal services as long as the fees are nominal, right? We read that for the indigent, right? Charitable purposes requires operating for charitable purposes, providing legal services, indigent purchase. Oh, it's like we would just read, right? In the IRC code, So there is a difference between classifications because there's numerous 501 classifications. Well, 50 classifications because you can go all the way up to like 509. Because I'm a 509A2. Although I'm a 501c3 is a broad term, there is a bunch of subsects under that. So Sabbath Saints 501c3. Under that, our subcode is a 509 Alpha 2. Tabs is a 170. I think it's Alpha Victor 2, something like that. Either way, it doesn't apply. Whoever submitted their 1023 really did not take the time to kind of figure out what their plan was, so they kind of screwed themselves. The 501c3 cannot provide legal services unless it is a legal aid organization or human and civil rights organization, which y'all aren't claiming to be. Public interest law firm, So you guys decide for yourself. Right, Sansa? I agree. Because here's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. We're not trying to represent ourselves as anything other than what we're not. We're a ministry. We help. We serve. We serve the Lord. We serve our community. Simple as that. To help, to serve, and to love. I'm not over here. I don't provide legal resources. I don't provide legal services. I provide faith. This fly, I swear, I'm going to end up smacking myself in the face. So here's the difference. Oh, and here's another key distinction, ladies and gentlemen. So here's their website. So here's the only thing. Look, terms of use. Oh, customer data is not shared. Oh, interesting. But is that only for text messages? By providing your phone number and agreeing to receive text messages, you consent to receive text messages from... Oh, this is the first time that's an actual acronym. So what about all of my other private information? Who made this website? Can we find out who made this website? Have you shared the link? Oh, no, I didn't. It's on the website though. I need to see. You guys help me out. I need to get the links all updated to the Amazon wish list. Yeah, I gotta get that all fixed up. Book. Yeah, because we could use some dog food for the kennels, guys. The Belgian Malinois and the Great Dane eat a lot of food. How much are you going to bill Scarge for this consultation? This is one of the services that the Savage Saints provides under the relief, because we are moving towards helping those in crisis with prayer, presence, and practical help. Clearly, this gentleman is in crisis right now. He's having a mental health episode, and we're trying to get his thing back on the right path. So, as per one of the charitable causes that the Savage Saints provides, we will get him on the right path to recovery and in turn towards redemption. That said, though, be wary if you do anything on this website, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, there's not much stuff you can click on. So this is a PayPal, okay. This is a GoFundMe. Why do they have a GoFundMe? Hang on a second. I want to dig into this website code for 1 second. I have dog food listed on our Amazon wish list. I just yeah, here it is. So this is just some stuff we put on. These are big bags, but it's anything you guys would be interested in supplying towards the kennel. So be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, about clicking anything on this SCARS website, scars501.org. I'm doing it because I'm running this on a VM, so it's okay. But if there's any buttons and everything, I would be careful. And the only reason I say that, there's no privacy thing, and I have to fix mine. So I'm showing you this, but mine's broken right now. So don't click on anything on my website until I fix that. But one of the things too here, third-party links. So it's one of the things that we want to provide you all is, if you are going to be clicking stuff on our website, I want to let you know that we're not selling your data. This is your data does not get saved anywhere on our website other than if you submit an email. It goes to our little worker thing, to the email collection. There's nothing on this at all. Hang on, let me tractor supply. Yeah, there's a bunch close. Thankfully, we're in a new quarter, so might be able to call around and get some help with it. Very interesting. This is so super interesting. I find this very, very, very interesting. This is so super interesting, guys. Hang on, let's do this. I'm gonna tear apart your website, bro. I'm gonna find out where these links are going. Yeah. Yeah, we need to start getting some of that stuff. What the fuck? Oh. Hang on. Hang on. Ha! Ha! This explains why the website sucks. It's a WordPress website. Did you guys put it together in 10 minutes and think, oh, yeah, this is good enough to scam people? Yeah, look, because I was sitting here and looking at this. Right? This stuff right here. I'm like, what the fuck is all this? 47. Like, look at this. This is this is just, this shows you that they'd have, for the amount of shit that he's given everyone for calling this a scam. You would think that you guys would have put a little bit more effort than 10 minutes into your website. Okay, this may have taken you longer than 10 minutes, but this is literally a WordPress template that's thrown together and it done probably by somebody who has no idea what they're doing, probably done within the day. They put together this website. Okay. All right, well, that's where your money's going, everybody. Your money's going to clearly somebody's cigarette fund. And I mean, you're not even getting a good website. So, all right, well, that's interesting. All right, that was a quick little show. I have some other work that I need to get done. So I'm probably going to call it from here. Unless there's anything you all want me to discuss further, but I don't have anything else I want to talk about. I want to fix some of the issues on my website, actually. Okay. Yep, I think I'm just going to call it from here and go get some work done. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. A quick little expose on why I believe that this is not a legitimate 501c3. Potentially could be a 501c4, or they'd have to reclassify entirely. So, have I eaten today? Had a bowl of popcorn. So no, I have not. I need to figure out the next steps here. I'm going to be redoing the whole Saints website. So now that I got a lot of things designed how I want it, I'm going to be pulling a lot of the content out because I don't know if this is too much. So I'm going to be pulling a lot out and simplifying and putting more into the web pages and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But I definitely need to fix some of these pages. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I hope you all have a blessed day, and we'll have Lion cue us out. All right.
shadows fall.